Hello, welcome to this update. So let's see an update on the severe weather here and this upcoming weather pattern for the U.S. and Canada. So first, let's start today on March 24th. So there's this light risk in spots of Louisiana, Mississippi, and also this marginal risk that goes until Georgia. So these storms are already happening there. There are a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings as well, and there's some strong storms there already happening. But severe thunderstorms possible today from southern Louisiana eastward to the Florida Panhandle and far southern Georgia. So be careful there. For day 2, just a storm or two into the plains, a storm or two in Florida, and further north there. And here we have some scale discussions for the heavy rain further south, and there's the day 1 map, shows some freezing rain possible in the northeast, some general snow there, and in Canada too, and some mixed precipitation. There's day 2 for a storm or two there in those areas, and mixed precipitation maybe the northeast, and day 3 a storm or two in more areas there. So be aware. The excessive rainfall is a marginal today. Spots of Washington there and the south, like Louisiana to Florida. Day 2 is nothing. Day 3, day 4. Day 4 in Texas, this thing starts a marginal risk already. And day 5, still a marginal, Texas and Louisiana. So be careful. There's the snow probability of, so be careful, shows more in the northeast, a finger or two, and maybe in Canada more, and northern Michigan, a few spots there, and a tiny finger or two in Washington, in the highest mountains. I think this is the probability for more than 4 inches, if it says here. Day 2, nothing crazy. Day 3, maybe finger or two further north, and in a mountain or two on the west. Day 4 shows on the west more, as this comes in day 5, our bigger system coming closer, and already some snow in the northern Midwest in Canada, and still on the Rockies. Day 6, some more in Canada, and maybe the northern plains, a finger or two, and day 7, more in central eastern Canada, into the northeast and the northern Midwest, still on the western mountains too. So be careful. There's here this snowfall for probabilities next 3 days, 72 hours. Nothing crazy next 3 days, but already shows like spots of Maine close to 6 to 8 inches, a spot or two in 3 days, maybe the UP of Michigan some more, and a finger or two in California or Wyoming and Montana. But Washington, some isolated mountain peaks with a lot there. So be aware. And does show the hazards here. Day 3 through 7. I don't know if this is updated because it looks exactly the same as it was last time I made a video, but does show heavy rain further south in Texas and some high winds. There's day 8 through 14. True, and also shows the threat of heavy snow. There, the snow that's about to come, and shows some heavy precipitation, high winds on the west as well, and there's like a high risk of heavy snow to the mountains and some more heavy rain in the south. So here you have the severe thunderstorm watch and some warnings there happening now, even a flash flood warning there, and some winter weather advisories further in the northeast, and some even winter storm warning spots of the UP of Michigan, and winter weather advisories for northern Wisconsin too. So be aware. And some high wind warnings parts of Montana, Wyoming now, and avalanche warnings, and even some high surf advisories and high surf warnings, Hawaii and some areas there. So be aware. But this changes all the time. So there's the 48-hour precipitation here, just to take a look from those storms in the south, and more on the east coast to like max close to 1.5 inches or something, spots in the south, but depending on this location, there might be more. There's the ice shows a finger or two, like Vermont and New York, especially like maybe Western Massachusetts, less than 1/5 of an inch or like one tenth of an inch. But yeah, so be careful. But it's like 0.5 of an inch. That's even less. So be careful. And there's the snow too for 8 hours. Still shows like some there, the northeast and the UP of Michigan, northern Michigan, and Wisconsin. Some areas close to 3 to 4 inches, even spots to 6, 7 inches in Maine, and some on the west. So be aware. I already showed you the temperatures last video, but let's just do a quick recap. So still warm in the south, especially the southwest this afternoon, close to some 90s, a little bit chillier there in the north. There's tonight shows some 20s and teens in the north and some 30s to the northeast, and the Rockies still warmer in the south. There's day 2 max, which is very warm, alright, in my opinion, shows even close to 98 in Arizona, some 89, some 70s, all the way up to Washington, and some 90s in Texas too, and Florida, some 80s. There's for uh, Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, still some 20s, 30s in the north, especially the UP of Michigan, some teens, and still warmer in the south but cold spots the Rockies. There's day 3 max, warmer throughout big parts of the south and the west, still chillier down the east, but some 90s in the southwest still. There's like from Wednesday night to Thursday morning, still some 20s and 30s in the northeast, even the Appalachian spots of the north and the Rockies too, and the rest kind of mild. There's day 4 Thursday afternoon, some A is even the plains, some 70s, and some A is in Florida, some 90s in the southwest, and a little bit less, some 40s, 30s the northeast. And those showed Thursday night, Friday morning, some 30s, 40s on the west, and some 20s in the mountains, some 20s and 30s in the northeast, northern Midwest too, and some things Friday morning. There's day 5 max, there's like this warm bubble there. Some is all the way up to Nebraska, some 70s more scattered around. Some is in Florida and Texas and in the southwest, and milder in other areas. There's like Saturday mornings, some 30s, 20s, the mountains, and even teens, beware, and some teens in the northeast too, some 20s. There's Saturday afternoon, shows even close to 90 in Texas, and even hotter spots of Florida too, and some 70s, and 80s in the southeast and the southwest, and still cold in the mountains, the northeast. There's Sunday morning, the 30th, some 20s in the northern plains, 30s, teens in the mountains, and some 20s in the northeast too. And there's day 7 max for Sunday afternoon, shows still some 80s, 70s, and 90s in southern Texas, some 80s, 70s in the southeast, but these systems are pushing the heat further south and east, with some 80s in the southwest as well, and some 40s, 30s in the north. So be aware those areas. So here for this upcoming storm system. So day 3 starts with that marginal risk for parts of the northwest, including spots of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, even far western Montana, that 5% there. There's a few strong to severe storms possible in parts of the Pacific Northwest Wednesday. So here you can see that Monday, Tuesday, and then this comes Wednesday into Thursday. There are those lower pressures, some storms, and even the probability of some rotating storms. Mainly the concern for some wind and hail. I don't expect any tornadoes there, but this goes, and then does show like that the energy from the northwest combines with those storms coming from the south, from the Gulf and those areas for Saturday, especially in the plains. There's some more vorticity on Saturday for those severe storms, and it gets even bigger for Sunday, uh, March 30th, if I'm right, March 31st. March 30th, because Monday is March 31st. So shows like in the Midwest, some spots, more storms in the south for Sunday when the energy comes together there. So here you can see the same thing too. Day 4 nothing, day 5 kind of nothing, and day 6 Saturday this 15% already. So spots of northernmost Texas, Oklahoma, into Kansas and in Arkansas, Illinois, and Missouri, into Iowa too. So let's medium range global models have come to reasonable agreement with respect to the most recent run, who's signaling towards heightened severe risk over the upcoming weekend across central parts of the country. So let's see day 6. So height falls associated with strengthening trough over the intermountain west should begin to spread over into the plains, with the trough itself currently expected to reach the high plains. This will result in eastward advanced surface low front out of the high plains and across the central plains states through evening and overnight, with a moistening prefrontal boundary layer ahead of the advancing system and increasing flow aloft. The overall SARP will favor increasing severe potential with all hazards possible. And that's for Saturday afternoon and evening into Saturday night. But Sunday we have this massive 15%, one of the biggest issued in recent years for day 7. So it goes all the way from Texas to Michigan, so a very big area for Sunday. So day 7, the eastward advance of the synoptic scale features will continue along with some continued strengthening with the continued moistening of the prefrontal warm sector, supporting afternoon this stabilization along with increasing deep layer flow. And broad area severe risk seems to evolve centered over the mid lower Mississippi Valley and Ohio Tennessee valleys, and again all severe hazards would be possible. So please be aware this upcoming weekend, and there might be updates with this. This might increase or decrease, but this most likely increase in the next few days. But we'll keep watching, and for Monday they still have nothing, but later there might be something. So please be aware. And here you can see exactly that. So this is Saturday. uh, Shows like those higher dew points are already creeping further north, and this actually zero C. Let's go later in just Saturday afternoon. So here's about 21C, shows some 60 dew points, as far north as Missouri and southern Iowa, shows even in Illinois some, and then later like into the evening still shows some 60 dew points as far north as Iowa, and further south some higher 60s. So there's a lot of moisture in this warm sector coming, and this is Saturday, and then into Sunday now shows like, so I just went too far here. Good. So this about Sunday evening shows some 60 dew points all the way up to Michigan. This is the GFS, and sometimes you can exaggerate, but we'll keep watching. And but that shows a very big area of some higher dew points a little bit earlier in the afternoon for Sunday. still shows some higher 60s in the south and more 60s dew points further north to the Mississippi, Ohio, Tennessee valleys, and some 50s dew points further east. So please be aware of this coming. Here, the European might have a similar thing too. So there's in Fahrenheit. So Monday, Tuesday. Why did I just go so far here? So Saturday, especially later in the day, the Euro does have some 60s dew points, but not as much as the GFS. There's like 61 near the front, but it has like some 50s, 40s in other areas. So it doesn't have that much as the GFS, but does show some higher dew points too. But Sunday it does increase, shows like some 60 dew points, some spots there, further south more, but like in those areas just 50 dew points. So maybe the GFS was kind of exaggerating. But later in the afternoon, the Euro does show like 61, Indiana 57, northern Indiana. So this this might be enough for those severe storms. So please be aware. There's the Cape here too, if I can find it. So shows like uh, this goes, but first for Wednesday there, does show a little bit of Cape into Washington, Oregon, Wednesday afternoon and evening for that martial risk there. So be aware. And then later Thursday, Friday, especially into Saturday, shows like some more in Kansas, spots in Oklahoma, more Cape, but later like into Saturday night, some more near in Arkansas and Missouri, but into Sunday, the Euro doesn't have that much Cape, but does have some more in Missouri and Illinois, spots in Tennessee too, but a little bit earlier in the afternoon, it has more, some 1,800 joules per kilogram, spots of 700. In Arkansas, it's almost to 3,000, but in other areas, 1,000. In Mississippi, like 2,700. So be aware those areas, and let's see if the GFS can show Cape too. So it does have like most unstable Cape for Sunday afternoon. It does have more in the south too, like the European, but does get slightly further north, spots of Kentucky, Illinois too, close to, because this light blue grayish is already more than 1,000 joules per kilogram. So the GFS does have like 1,500, even close to 2,000 joules per kilogram spots in Illinois. It does have some Cape as far up as Michigan too. So we'll keep watching, and later in the night it diminishes a little bit. So be aware those areas. And here for like this trough coming, it, let's see. So this is Sunday evening. It's not so humongous, but it does show that trough shape there. If you like, yeah. And then this goes, and slightly earlier, like Saturday, this starts coming to the plains from the Intermountain West, and this is at 500 millibars. And at 300 it's not so apparent as 500 millibars, but yeah, so this is coming, be aware. And here for those other systems like the snow and everything, it's still showing a similar thing from our last video. So remember, I showed you that system that they might start in Canada and bring that snow down south. So this might happen Saturday at the same time as that severe weather. Maybe not at the same time because this shows a 60, but does show more snow and freezing rain possible, and even some sleet in those areas of northern Midwest into Wisconsin too, spots of northern Michigan, and especially some heavy snow maybe into Minnesota too, and into Canada of course. So this goes, and later as Sunday the 30th, the GFS still has this massive blob of ice there, uh, all the way from Minnesota to Massachusetts. The GFS has ice. Then it goes mostly into Canada, but it might be exaggerating a little bit. So there's the European too, shows like this goes there, and Tuesday, Wednesday, those storms, the northwest, shows Friday, the snow starts in Canada late Thursday into Friday, and some freezing rain right in Friday, and then that does show Saturday, the European, some storms and some snow and ice. So it shows way less extent than the GFS, but does show through a lot of ice in some areas, and eventually might affect the northeast some too, and does show those storms there later Saturday, the severe weather, especially on Sunday, this big area of severe storms there. So be careful, and at the same time some more fronts on the west coast there for like more rain and some snow, and this might be an active pattern too, because these models are still showing some systems after this. So we'll we'll keep watching there. there's there's also an interesting thing here, because I showed you the storm prediction center, but there's these models from the Colorado State University too, shows like day 4, day 5, but day 6 here for Saturday. There's the SIPS model, a different one too. The Colorado State University already has a 30% chance of severe weather and a 15% chance, and for Sunday the Colorado State University has even a bigger area of 30% and 15%. So we gotta watch this very closely. The SIPS has a 30% for Saturday and a 15% Sunday, and here's the Storm Prediction Center too. And the Colorado State University still has a finger two for Monday on the East Coast. But yeah, be aware, and it does have a finger two on day 4 too. So we'll keep watching that. So there's day 2, nothing, and yeah, be aware, day 1 today in the south there. And talking about today, I don't know why I didn't even show you the probabilities for today. There's the tornado threat 2%. This happening now, but it's worth showing. In spots to the south, there's the wind threat. That's the 15%. So that's the cause of the slight risk. And there's the hail, just 5%. So yeah, be aware. And there's like some elevated fire for today's spots of Oklahoma and Kansas too. So be aware those areas. And here for the severe weather, there's another cool thing that is worth showing. So here there a blend of different models for the supercell composite week 2 and week 3. So week 2 is probably next week, still shows the probability of more supercells there in the south, and into week 3 still shows some possible severe weather in the plains there. So it's worth watching these signals. So be aware those areas, and the show here on the European too, those storms building Mexico Thursday, northern Mexico into Texas, might leave some heavy rain Friday into southern Texas and central Texas too. So be careful. Then to Saturday, the system with ice and snow there further north, and the trough coming from the west, plus the storms in the south, and this all meet and cause the severe weather, this winter storm there. Then it goes away and might leave more March, April 1st into Atlantic Canada. So be aware, those areas, please be careful. So there's the snow accumulation too, shows like first here, maybe where's in inches, good. So shows here until April 1st, shows why does this take so long here. So does show in California spots there, the European close to 32 inches in the next 8 days. So 32, 26, some 13 inches, some more in Oregon too, 9, 10 inches, 21 inches, and some more across like northern Colorado, the Rockies, some 7, 8 inches, spots of Wyoming too, some 9 inches, 14 inches, 10 inches. So be aware across the west and the European show this snow star in Nebraska, in Iowa and Wisconsin, some 2 inches, 9 inches, Michigan too, and yeah. So be aware, the GFS is kind of different. It doesn't have this snow here, it just has further north. So it does have like 16 inches in northern Minnesota, even to 19 inches, and even more to the northern UP of Michigan, close to 26 inches. So it has some more Michigan, in Indiana too, and Illinois. The GFS does have a little bit, and into the northeast as well. So it does show New York, some spots of Vermont and more areas. The European does have some in the northeast from this as well until April 1st, especially northern Maine. But just like 2 days out shows a finger to in the northeast, 5 days shows slightly more, and 8 days shows this there. So yeah, be aware. There's the icon too, what just happened here. So shows like until the 31st, the icon has especially more into northern Minnesota. Those areas some 26 inches, 25 inches, and does have in North Dakota, more South Dakota, spots of Wyoming, Montana, Washington. So be aware, in Oregon, spots of California too, and there's snow in the Rockies, spots of Wyoming, and even in Colorado. But but each model has a slightly different amount, so we'll have to keep watching. So be aware those areas, and the her has also this snow in the short range the next day or so, spots to the northeast even 5 inches, and a spot or two in Montana. So be careful there, and shows here like for the precipitation, I like to show you this map first, like here for quantitative precipitation. So day 1 through 7 still shows a lot in southern Texas from those storms, especially even close to 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches, more in spots of Texas, Louisiana, and more there are spots of California, Washington, Oregon, especially like more than 5 inches from those frontal systems, and more there central areas too. So be careful those areas. There's here like for the rain in inches too, just to check the some different models. So the European until April 1st does have spots to like 2-3 inches, some storms in the south, but those storms in southern Texas, the Euro has all the way to 7 inches, and spots of 5 inches and 5-6 inches. So be aware those storms there might be more flooding. Shows spots of California and Oregon to 6 inches to 5 inches. Be careful, and more spots in Northern California and Washington, especially on the coast, more than 4 inches. So stay safe from those storms further north too. And what's happening here? here. There's the icon too until the 31st. The icon's further up into Central Texas, like San Antonio 5 inches. It does have Southern Texas to 4 inches, and Louisiana close to 2 inches. More spots the south and southeast as well, and the north because of those storms. And does have a lot on the Pacific coast as well. So stay safe. There's like 6 inches there. There's the GFS too, and like until April 1st, it does have it just switched to the European again. So it also has like some 3 inches, 4 inches, but that's too low, I think. But the GFS does have in Texas to 5 inches, 4, 5.5 inches even, and from those storms, those areas, the Midwest and the South, and these values will still change. So we'll keep watching there. Be careful. There's like in Canada, some lingering snow today, Monday, spots of Yukon, northwestern territories, and the system in Ontario because of this snow in the northeast now. So Monday to Tuesday, some spots of freezing rain into Maine and New Brunswick, and then even Nova Scotia, a finger or two, and Newfoundland shows some snow, some ice as well. Into Labrador, Tuesday shows into Wednesday, spots of Ontario and Quebec, still a little bit of snow, maybe some spots of Manitoba and Ontario. The GFS is also a similar thing, and does show already some ice and some snow starting to come into British Columbia and Alberta there. So be aware. Wednesday, Thursday shows this big low pressure from the Pacific. This might have a very cool look on satellite when it comes. So shows there, especially in British Columbia, those areas possibility of freezing rain too, more snow in Alberta, British Columbia, and there might be the heavy rain spots of the coast there and some higher winds. At the same time, Thursday in Ontario shows some. Then this goes shows like this system starting to get together in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba Friday. Some freezing rain further in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and this snow goes all the way from northwestern territories to Ontario. That's snow Friday. This goes some more freezing rain. Those areas it shows more like in the northern U.S. there, but there might be some into Ontario too. So, but more snow shows even some freezing rain in southeastern Ontario, and some snow Saturday. This goes still southern Ontario, in Quebec some snow and ice, and still shows some lingering snow in the west on the 29th, and some spots there. But Sunday the 30th still that snow in southern Canada, spots there does show heavier. Even on March 1st, on Monday the 31st and March 1st, still some snow there. And this goes into Atlantic Canada, probably some more rain and snow. So be aware, those areas, uh, check check your local forecast to see what's coming this week in your local area. But be careful. Shows here array like let's just put this until Monday the 31st. Array shows some 26 centimeters, 25 parts of Alberta, even to 31 in British Columbia, close to 27, 26, depends on our exact location, but does show more into like central northern British Columbia and some more into especially the mountains further south in British Columbia, and even to 106 centimeters. Be careful, that snow might accumulate quickly and cause some problems. Be careful driving too in all those areas with snow. Shows already some 22 centimeters in Manitoba, in Saskatchewan, some 19 centimeters, 23 in Saskatchewan. In Manitoba, shows close 16, 15 centimeters, some more lighter into northern Manitoba and Nunavut, but does show some more into Ontario, 15, 7, 8 centimeters, and does like increase again southern Ontario The year is like close to 61 centimeters. More spots in Quebec as well, and in New Brunswick, some more snow. So from today, there'll already be some snow in New Brunswick, and from the system later shows even more. So be aware, spots in Nova Scotia, some today, and in Newfoundland from like today and this system later. So stay safe. So like 50 centimeters. The GFS has 40. The GFS is in Quebec some 60 and even more in a few spots. Uh, in Lake Superior it has a lot too, and more spots in Ontario. The GFS even more. In Saskatchewan, the GFS has a lot of spots of Alberta, British Columbia too. There's the icon, a little bit less but more concentrated, but does have as well. So be aware of the snow coming, but especially the freezing rain that will come with this. So be careful those areas. And I hope you can hear me well because I just moved this here. But here, let's see the wind now. So first here, and some miles per hour. So shows already Monday today stronger in parts of the U.S. Montana shows some gusts there close to even 50, 48 mile per gust, 44 spots of the Rockies there, and at the same time spots of the east as well. In Ohio, spots of Michigan as well. Pennsylvania maybe gusty on the east coast. So Monday, Tuesday, and yeah, and this goes maybe the southern Appalachians later Tuesday, and then Wednesday. It's just breezier there, but nothing crazy. But meanwhile, on the west, this crazy Pacific system shows right like starting later Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, spots of northern California into Washington there, some higher gusts. So Thursday still shows right on the coast of Oregon, might be very windy. Be careful those waves too. Some big surf there. So stay safe. This goes Thursday, Friday. Does show Thursday night or something. Some spots breezier on the west, but especially those areas, Washington, Oregon there. So be careful. The GFS has a similar thing, but not as strong. The GFS has some winds in the plains too, Friday and Thursday night. The icon has Thursday night a few gusts in the plains there, but nothing that strong, and some scared on the west, and it just swapped to the European again. So here, this is the icon, and the Sierra Nevada too, and on the west coast. So be careful. Friday, Saturday, the winds stick closer to Alaska there, and then this goes Sunday, another Pacific cyclone, maybe Monday the 31st, but it's still Sunday night on on the Western time. So shows some very crazy gusts there on the 31st, but it's still many days off. We have time to keep watching, including these winds there in the Rockies on the 31st, but that's kind of far out. So yeah, stay safe. And in Alaska still shows those winds, the Aleutian Islands there, that continue, and they do calm down a little bit before Friday, picking up again. Maybe wind into northern Alaska, close to even 62, 54 mile per gust. Spots Sunday there, and then Monday some disturbances northern Alaska, and spots in the south maybe later. So be aware those areas. There's here for Canada. So the show now Monday a few spots of Alberta or British Columbia, slightly breezier in a few spots in the mountains or like in the Atlantic. but especially in Ontario today because of that system there. So this goes Monday there, shows later today into Tuesday, Nova Scotia, some spots, some Hargus tonight, and then to Newfoundland spots there from the system Tuesday. Then that goes away, shows maybe slightly breezier spots on Manitoba Thursday into Ontario because of a small clipper there. But Friday shows, especially Wednesday, Thursday, this Pacific system there, Vancouver Island, those areas, even close to 71 km per Gus, northern mountains there. So this goes, and this might change too, but does show some high wind in some interior spots there. And then this goes, and, and Saturday shows maybe breezier near the Great Lakes, but as of now, these models don't show any crazy wind events. The GFS does has slightly breezier there Friday, Saturday, but the main thing with this will be that snow plus plus the freezing rain. So yeah, be careful. Plus this rain here in British Columbia, those areas. So most of the models in the next 5 days have a lot of rain down the coast of Vancouver Island, more than 100 millimeters. So just until Friday, it has some 75 millimeters, some 86 in some spots. But if I put it until Saturday, our array has more than 100. So spots southwestern British Columbia too. And if I put it until April 1st, shows even more there, close to like 160 and even more. There's the GFS on the same time frame, like some 8 days out, some 200 spots of Vancouver Island. Just 5 days out shows less, close to 100, and some more rain, maybe in Alaska and other spots of British Columbia. So yeah, beware. There's the icon too that has a lot there, 100, even 200 and a spot or two, and there'll be snow in the interior spots of the island. So yeah, stay safe, be aware. One final thing, those temperatures still very cold for northern Canada, those spots there, and more like still cold for southern and eastern Canada, but the southwest is kind of milder. So spots of the east still some negative temperatures, and northern Alaska, western Alaska, and then Monday this goes, especially during the night and everything, but like the whole day remains very cold in central northern Nunavut, spots of the northwestern temperatures close to -30, but the south some negative temperature still, but milder. So Tuesday in the afternoon kind of warms up to 13 degrees in the southwest, but still colder in odd areas. The southeast is a -2 degrees, 3 degrees, and yeah, so during the night does go down further, even to 30 -35 in the north by the icon, and in the south still negative temperatures there, -1, -6, some more northern Quebec. There's the European too, slightly different but similar things. Wednesday, Thursday, and does show like Thursday morning some -23 all the way down to northern Manitoba, but this comes there, and that does show uh, more creeping to Quebec later, not Quebec and Ontario, but northern Quebec as well, but shows more like some -28 Friday, northwest Ontario, somewhere to Manitoba, very cold in Nunavut, northwestern territories, and especially like shows certain active temperatures spot to the southwest, especially in the mountains at night, but bare some 6 degrees in Vancouver and some areas, but in Yukon still pretty cold, and probably some -20s Fahrenheit in Alaska, and some more teens and 20s there, but very cold northern Alaska. So Stay safe Friday, Saturday, and the show Sunday morning. Still pretty cold in the southeast and the north, but the afternoon a little bit better in the southwest. Some 8, even like 16 degrees, but still such a negative temperatures in many areas. The 31st in the morning shows still like northern Nunavut very cold. The southeast a little bit better, but still some 0 degrees. For North Quebec, so -13 to even -30. Northernmost Quebec and still cold. Those areas. This goes throughout the first week of April, and later on April 4th, the European does get milder temperatures for southern Ontario, those areas. But we'll keep watching. So stay safe. This severe weather coming. Beware of fog and like icing, slippery roads, thunderstorms, and everything. And stay safe.